prepare to break the silence. I'll be out in the sunshine, running beside the lions. I've been feeling down, but I've been looking up, afraid to fall. God, I've been so down, can you pick me up? Don't let me fall. Can you show me how to fix this mess? I am down and on my knees and I may fall as I'm so close to the end.
Good evening, everybody. Welcome back to the Dugout Football Channel. It is Premier League Week 5, and the international break is on its way out until, obviously, October, with some having very good international breaks, of course. It's good to see, isn't it? But yes, let us get into match week number 5. Remember to leave your predictions in the comment section down below, and we'll get on to this week, shall we? Because last week in match week 4, I had probably my worst week so far. I had 6 points, no perfect scores. In the comments now, you'll probably be expecting me to say NWM was the top scorer. Well, he wasn't. NWM got 9 points this week, but with 10 points, Bluebird legend Paul Morgan was the top scorer with 10 points. So very, very well done, Paul. And good luck to everybody for the week ahead. But let's jump into things. With the 12:30 game on Saturday, and it is Wolves against Liverpool. Wolves on the back of a 3-2 defeat to Crystal Palace. Liverpool with a 3-0 win over Aston Villa. I've got to say, from obviously watching Crystal Palace Wolves, you do get a tendency that, yes, Wolves might concede goals, but then again, you've got a feeling that they will score goals. They do have a little bit of firepower there. Matheus Cunha is a very, very good vocal point up front. And obviously, they've got Pedro Neto as well there. They have lost Daniel Podence. He's obviously gone out on loan. Which is very, very interesting, I've got to say. Obviously, good luck to Daniel Podence, it has to be said as well. But yeah, I mean, they did lose 3-2, but I think there's signs of encouragement there for Gary O'Neill. Look, they were 3-1 down. They did get back to 3-2, which was the main thing. I mean, all the goals in that game came in the second half, which was crazy to watch. It has to be said, but very, very good advert for the Premier League and a 3-2 win to Crystal Palace. But Wolves back in front of Molineux, and obviously they are coming up against an opponent that they did beat last year by 3-0, and that is Liverpool with a 3-0 win over Aston Villa. Yeah, Dominic Szoboszlai, Mohamed Salah, who is now staying at Liverpool, which is fantastic news as well. And obviously, of course, Matty Cash did score an own goal as well. Darwin Núñez looking very, very lightning in front of goal recently. As well. He's looking very, very sharp, it has to be said. But very, very impressed. Very, very impressed. And that was without Virgil van Dijk as well. Matip and Gomez played very, very well at the back. Looks like Konate is going to miss this game as well. So another chance for Gomez and Matip to, potentially come in there. I mean, could Gomez potentially move to right back? Because there's, a lot of confusion over the availability of Trent Alexander-Arnold, of course. So that could be a very interesting one this weekend. How do you see it going? Well, Liverpool will definitely want to right a wrong from last season, because against Wolves last season, yes, apart from obviously the cup game in Molineux, where Harvey Elliott scored the winner, they were very, very poor on the day at Molineux, and Wolves thoroughly deserved to win that day. How do I see this one going? Well, 12-30 games, you never know with the international break. Do you? I have a feeling that Liverpool will go to Wolves, and I'm going to go for them to win this one. I'm going to go for a 2-0 win to Liverpool. We're just starting to slowly get clean sheets almost. So I'm going to go for a 2-0 win to Liverpool in that one. And then we move on to the 3 o'clockers, and we have Aston Villa against Crystal Palace. Yeah, Aston Villa again. Look, they've been very good at home. I'll say that. Obviously, bar the Burnley score, they have barring obviously the Liverpool and Newcastle scores, they have been pretty good, especially at home. Obviously, beating Burnley 3-1, beating Everton 4-0, and then obviously the home and away against the Burnley. But against Liverpool, they actually had chances, but again they sort of allowed Liverpool into the game. And if you're going to play this sort of open, expansive football that Unai Emery certainly does, it is sometimes going to backfire on you. I think the game against Liverpool kind of showed that you can have chances, but conceding very early on always gives you a mountain to climb. And obviously, Liverpool do go into a 2-0 win, 2-0 lead with Matty Cash scoring an own goal as well. So another injury, unfortunately, as well. Diego Carlos went off injured. Hopefully, he's not too serious as well, because they've already lost Tyrone Mings. They've already lost Emi Buendia. The last thing that they need is to lose another key player in Diego Carlos. So hopefully, he will be okay. Crystal Palace 3-2 win over Wolves, and I have to say, that doesn't bed the whole story. I mean, Edwards scored from a very good cross from Tyreek Mitchell. Very good finish. That one. Eze was unbelievable in this game as well. Obviously, he did get his first call up for England. Remains to be seen as well. Will he play in the friendly against Scotland? That could be very interesting, to say the very least. But Crystal Palace going along nicely. They are going along pretty nicely, it has to be said. This is going to be a very interesting one. This is going to be a very interesting game, I think. It is a Villa Park. So I'm going to give Villa the win, because I think Villa at home have been proven that they have been very good at home. And I'm going to give them a 2-0 win against Crystal Palace. But very difficult game to call this one. Very difficult game to call this one. But I'm going to go for the Villains here by 2-0. And now we have a London derby. We have Fulham against Luton Town. Well, we'll get on to Fulham in a wee brief moment. But I thought Luton Town against West Ham, I thought they played very well. They were very unlucky to lose in the end. Yes, they allowed West Ham to, score those 2 goals from obviously Bowen and Zuma. But apart from that, they just need an out-and-out goal scorer. They need an out-and-out goal scorer. Someone who will hit the back of the net. Obviously, Mads Anderson did get the first goal at Kenilworth Road. And it's great to see Kenilworth Road, isn't it? It's great to see Kenilworth Road with, Premier League football. It really is, to say the very least. So away, again, for Luton Town. The sooner they get points on the board, the sooner that they can think, yes, we now belong in the Premier League. We now belong in the Premier League, and try and get points here or there about. Fulham, that game against Manchester City, yes, it was 5-1 to Manchester City, but it doesn't tell the whole story. I mean, you look at Alvarez, he's obviously got the first goal, which is a very good finish, it has to be said. A great play from Erling Haaland, plays it to Alvarez, it's 1-0. And Tim Ream of all people, getting the equaliser at the City of Manchester Stadium, well, the Etihad, whatever you want to call it. And then the biggest decision. You've obviously seen it. I cannot understand for the life of me how that is not offside. Literally, Akonji has gone to kick the football. It's an Aki header. Look, Aki's header is heading to the back of the net anyway. But it's that touch from Akonji that already puts him in an active offside position. And it's obviously put Burnley off as well. So I feel Fulham deserve a little bit of an apology there. I think that was a really difficult decision to take on the chin. And would it have changed the outcome of the game? I would have probably said Manchester City was still going to win the game. But at that moment, it is 1-1. It's a very important decision. Fulham were certainly in the game by then as well. Man City did take a lot of time to break them down, it has to be said. So I think Fulham will be a little bit disappointed to go away from that 5-1 defeat. But they'll take pride from the fact that they did hold Manchester City for a long, long time in that game. And looking at this game, it is a London derby. I've got to say I'm going to go for a Fulham win because it is obviously at Craven Cottage. If it was at maybe Kenilworth Road, maybe Luton might get something out of the game. Maybe they might get a draw or something. But I'm going to go for a 3-1 win to Luton. Sorry, 3-1 win to Fulham. I'm going to go for a 3-1 win to the Whites there. And now we have Manchester United against Brighton and Hove Albion. Obviously, Brighton did the double over Manchester United last season, of course. But Manchester United, again, another game you'd have to say they were in the game against Arsenal. The one thing you don't do after going ahead is conceding straight away. Marcus Rashford, fantastic finish to put the ball in the back of the net past Aaron Ramsdale. But then straight away, Arsenal go up the other end and score. They go up the other end and score. That has been the mentality of Manchester United for a number of years, especially away from home. Last season, away from home, they were really, really poor. Home form is what really kept them going last season. And this is a very interesting one, this game, because they could be easily going off the back of a 2-1 win over Arsenal. They could easily be going that, but a 3-1 defeat, very, very disappointing in the end. Off the pitch stuff hasn't really gone for them as well. Like what's happened with obviously Anthony. I'm not going to get too much into it, but you've obviously read the sort of the headlines with him. It's not looking good. It's not looking good for him as well. But if you talk about how bad Manchester United have been off the pitch, Brighton 3-1 run over Newcastle, which was excellent result. Evan Ferguson getting a hat trick. Not bad for an 18-year-old to get a hat trick. He sort of joins the names of obviously Michael Owen, who obviously got 3 hat tricks at the age of 18. So, look, I think Brighton are a very, very good side. Evan Ferguson is a bit of a doubt, though. He did withdraw for the Irish team to obviously play France and Netherlands as well. So could remain an interesting one to see if he will make it or not. How do I see it going? Well, another difficult one to call because Brighton are in very, very good form. Manchester United are just needing a win or two to just sort of get them back up the table a little bit. As well. Brighton, look, great start of the season. Top goal scorers in the league so far. But I am going to give Manchester United the win because they are at Old Trafford. And you would expect them to win at Old Trafford. So I'm going to give Manchester United 2, Brighton 1. I'm going to give them a 2-1 win over Brighton in that one. And now we have Tottenham against Sheffield United. Tottenham on the back of a 5-2 win against Burnley. Absolutely fantastic victory for them. Son getting a hat trick as well. Destiny Udogie looks a really good player at left back as well. Romero getting a fantastic goal. And James Maddison probably at the time of recording. I know we're only in 5 weeks into the Premier League season, but already you're looking at that, and probably James Maddison is probably the sign of the summer so far. You'd have to say, just especially on sort of creativity. Obviously, he gets a couple of goals there, here and there as well. It was really, really good to see James Maddison to get on the score sheet as well. So yeah, Tottenham going really, really well under Ange Postecoglou, and they'll hopefully be building on that. Sheffield United 2-2 against Everton. I've got to say, fantastic game of football. Fantastic game of football. When you think that a lot of people have obviously Sheffield United to be one of those teams to potentially go down, they played really, really well against Everton. They were very, very unlucky, and had it not been for Jordan Pickford's triple save right at the end, they'd probably go away with that 3-2 win as well. But look, Cameron Archer looks a very, very good buy from Aston Villa. He did score goals for Middlesbrough last season. I fully expect them to get goals in the Premier League as well. So Sheffield United, point off the board, they'll be very, very happy. But the one place you don't want to go to at this moment in time is the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. And I just think Tottenham are in just a very, very good form at this moment in time. And I think it's going to be a long afternoon for Sheffield United. I'm going to give Tottenham a 3-0 win for Tottenham there. I just got a feeling that there will just be too much for Sheffield United in that one. So I'm going to go Tottenham 3, Sheffield United 0. And now at the London Stadium, West Ham United against Manchester City. West Ham going really, really well at the moment. 10 points from 4 games. It's a very, very good return, you have to say. Look, I think the signings of Edson Alvarez, James Ward-Prowse, as well, Mohamed Kudus, might see him make his debut against Manchester City at the weekend as well. They've had a good transfer window. They have had a very, very good transfer window, especially with obviously the Declan Rice money. I think you've got to say that is a very, very good transfer to get those 4 players on. So, and obviously Mavropanos as well, who's obviously scored for Greece in international duty as well. So another very, very good signing that West Ham have made. They are coming up against the champions like Erling Haaland's hat-trick. It's just inevitable at the moment with Erling Haaland. It really, really is. But I like the fact that Julian Alvarez is getting games now. We saw last season that Erling Haaland was definitely Manchester City signing of the summer for sure. Alvarez looks like a very, very good, astute signing. £16 million from River Plate. I think he's going to be very, very good. And especially now that De Bruyne is out, and think until December, January. It's obviously going to be that sort of will Alvarez keep his place now? Like, I think he should. I think he should as well. Phil Foden had another very good game as well. So, again, both sides doing very, very well. City, obviously, 4 wins from 4, which is very, very good to see. West Ham, as I said, 10 points from 12 games. But going to give Man City the win. Going to give Man City the win. They're going to go for 3-1 win to Manchester City. I just think they'll just have a little too much for West Ham in that one. And now we move on to Saturday tea time game, and it is Newcastle United against Brentford. Newcastle United, yes, I know that they have had Manchester City, Liverpool, and Brighton in the last 3 games, and it is obviously 3 defeats. 1 win against Aston Villa as well, so not a good start. Not a good start, but against the teams where you probably expect probably not them to get any points in. Okay, Brighton is probably the sort of the difference, I would say. The difference, because Manchester City, Liverpool, it's a bonus if you can get points off them. Brighton, disappointing. They were really disappointing. And Nick Pope, Sandro Tonali need a bit of criticism, I'm afraid. They led to their own downfall, I have to say, for Newcastle. They definitely led to their own downfall, especially with the goals that they conceded as well. Like, goalkeepers union, I think Nick Pope has to do better for one of the Ferguson goals. I think he has to do better because, shot from distance, you would expect them to save it. You would expect them to save it, but wasn't to be for Ferguson, for Nick Pope, I'd have to say. But Newcastle back in front of the home fans, especially got Champions League football coming up this week as well. So big weekend for Newcastle, big week as well. Brentford 2-2 against Bournemouth. Could have been a different story if Mbeumo had his shooting boots on. I know he scored at the end, but it's an absolute sitter to make it 3-2 to Brentford as well. But Brentford going along very, very nicely, I've got to say. They're going along really, really nicely as well. This fixture finished 5-1 to Newcastle United last season as well. I don't think it'll be as much as that, but I'm going to give Newcastle the win. I think, I fully expect Newcastle to win this one. Go to, obviously, Milan in midweek. I'm going to go for a 3-1 win to Newcastle United in that one. And now we move on to Super Sunday, where it is Bournemouth against Chelsea. Yeah, another interesting one. Bournemouth 2-2 with Brentford. Very good result. That one. Chelsea lost 1-0 to Nottingham Forest. Very, very disappointing, it has to be said, for Chelsea. Bournemouth are going along nicely a little bit. Look, it might only be, 2 points from a possible 12. But Areola is getting his ideas across. He is getting his ideas across. And look, I think Bournemouth are going to have a good season. I don't think they're going to be a team that are going to be in any relegation trouble whatsoever. And with obviously David Brooks scoring and obviously Dominic Solanke scoring, They'll obviously hope for the goals for Solanke to start getting up there, to say at the very, very least. Bournemouth will be fine. Bournemouth will be absolutely fine. It is a tough start. It has been a very, very tough start for them, but I fully expect them to go and have a good season, to say the very, very least. Chelsea, what do you want to say about Chelsea? I mean, it's been an indifferent start to the season. Um, I look at the games against Liverpool and Luton. Obviously, they got 4 points from them, but defeats against West Ham and Nottingham Forest are not good. It's not good. And Nicholas Jackson missed an absolute sitter. Why are Chelsea relying on Nicholas Jackson to get their goals? He's a 22-year-old kid. Why are you already sort of expecting him to get the goals there? Look, Chelsea can be applauded for the transfer business that they got out of the club. Why did they not go for a recognised number 9 striker? That would have been the tip of the iceberg. That one, it would have been tip of the iceberg if they had got a striker in. But they're relying on Nicholas Jackson to get goals. And look, Chelsea were very poor against Nottingham Forest, I have to say. And they deserve to lose. They deserve to lose because they had a lot of chances, but didn't take any of them. Didn't take it. And again, Pochettino's got a big, big job on his hands. He has a big, big job on his hands. It has to be said. How do I see this one going? Another difficult one to call. I've got to say there are a few games this week where you're like, tough one to call. Tough one to call. But Chelsea have to win at some point. They have to win at some point. I'm going to go for them to win this one. Very narrowly, though. 1-0 win against Bournemouth. I think once Nkunku comes back, I think they might be a better team. But Chelsea are sort of scraping past games recently. Against Luton Town, look, they won 3-0, but for a long, long time, that was 1-0. That was definitely, 1-0 in that one. Obviously, they did lose against West Ham in that game as well. But they have to win at some point. I'm going to go for them to win this weekend. I'm going to go for a 1-0 win to Chelsea. But it's not easy. Not easy at all for Pochettino, to say the very, very least. And on to the other game on Super Sunday, Everton against Arsenal. Everton did win this fixture 1-0 last season. So, yeah, another tricky one to call this one. Everton 2-2 against Sheffield United. They have Jordan Pickford to thank. Yes, Jordan Pickford did get an own goal against his name. He didn't know anything about it. Goes off the post and back off his head. Couldn't do anything about that. But the triple save at the end, fantastic. That is why Jordan Pickford is a very, very good goalkeeper when you just need him in those clutch moments. Yes, celebrations is a little bit over the top, but very, very good triple save at the end there. So kudos to Everton for that. Beto, Danjuma, they look two very, very good signings, I've got to say. They look like they're going to improve that team, definitely, to say the very, very least. Arsenal got there in the end against Manchester United. Look, why Arteta has been sort of doing Partey at right back a lot. Ben White is a right back. Let's just be honest there. Ben White is definitely a right back. So I think the fact that obviously Partey is injured and obviously allowed Ben White to go back to right back. Obviously Saliba, Gabriel, Amazon, obviously Zinchenko there as well. How long is it before Kai Havertz gets dropped? Because for me, Kai Havertz isn't doing anything in this Arsenal team. Not doing anything in this Arsenal team. Yes, he might have won a penalty that obviously got overturned by VAR in the end there. But look, Declan Rice, Gabriel Jesus got them out of jail. They got them out of jail against Manchester United. But Arsenal haven't been really convincing for me recently. And this is a stat for you. Arsenal have not won at Goodison Park since 2017, since a 5-2 win against Everton. Where I think Alexis Sanchez got a double, I think Ozil got one on that day as well. So Goodison Park has not been a happy hunting ground. and especially against Sean Dyche teams, because Everton did win this one 1-0 last season through a Tarkowski goal as well. But with that in mind, international break, Arsenal will feel like they can go away to Everton and get a bit of that hoodoo off their back, because Goodison Park has not been a happy hunting ground for Arsenal in a number of years recently. So 2017 was the last time they won there. I'm going to go for them to win in 2023 by 2-1. Everton 1, Arsenal 2. But it will not be easy at all. But just think Arsenal just got a little bit too much for Everton in that one. And we have a Monday night game, and it is the battle of the clubs you probably expect to be sort of down there. But in Forest's situation, well, Forest 1-0 win over Chelsea. Absolutely amazing result. That absolutely amazing result. They played out of their skins in that game. Defended like a unit. And look, Elanga getting the goal as well. Elanga is a really, really good signing. And I really, really hope that this is the sort of the season where he just sort of recaptures his form. Didn't really show it at Manchester United, but he wasn't really given the chance at Manchester United. I think having Morgan Gibbs-White there, Taiwo Awoniyi as well, he's been looking fabulous. Yes, I know he didn't score, but he's looking really, really good as well. Forest have a very, very good side there. They have a very, very good side there now. And with obviously Divock Origi coming in as well, they've got a few good options now off the bench. Nottingham Forest, I don't think they're going to be in any relegation trouble. I know I obviously said them to be sort of 17th this season as well, but looking at their transfer business, they look like a team that can probably climb the table. They are going to be a surprise package, I think, this season. I think they're definitely going to be a surprise package this season. Burnley, I mean, look, it's only been 3 games that they've played this season. Yes, they've already all been defeats, but Tottenham, Manchester City, and Aston Villa, that's a tough start. That is a very, very tough start as well. Also, the game against Luton Town has been rescheduled. That is now 3rd of October. So that's going to be very interesting, actually, to say the very, very least. That game is, scheduled for the 3rd of October as well. But 3 defeats. Look, they are looking a little bit open. They are looking a little bit open at this moment in time, or Burnley. But I think they should be fine. I think they should be fine, especially compared to obviously Sheffield United and Luton. I think they've got a good squad there, Burnley, and got a good manager in Vincent Kompany. I fully expect them to get out of this mire as well. Yes, they're not off the mark yet, but Burnley did actually beat Nottingham Forest in the League Cup a couple of weeks ago at the City Ground, funnily enough, as well. Now, obviously, this game is on a Monday because of obviously the cricket at Trent Bridge as well. It's obviously the same for the Cup game as well. Excuse me, actually, it was for the Sheffield United game, I should say, as well. I am going to go for a draw in this one. I'm going to go for Burnley to get off the mark and get a 1-1 draw in this one. So there we go, guys. There is match week number 5. Predictions done and dusted. I will go through my predictions very, very quickly. I'll give you a recap of my predictions as they're going across the bottom of your screen there. So I've gone Wolves 0, Liverpool 2, Aston Villa 2, Crystal Palace 0, Fulham 3, Luton Town 1, Manchester United 2, Brighton and Hove Albion 1, Tottenham 3, Sheffield United 0, West Ham United 1, Manchester City 3, Newcastle United 3, Brentford 1, Bournemouth 0, Chelsea 1, Everton 1, Arsenal 2, and Nottingham Forest 1, Burnley 1. So there we go, guys. Leave your predictions in the comment section down below. And like Bluebird Legend, you will get a shout out in the next video. Yes, the international break may be ending, but the Premier League is back, and better as well. And yeah, in the national break, there's always a bit of a surprise result in there, but we'll wait and see. But the games obviously dominating the weekend is definitely Everton against Arsenal, Manchester United against Brighton, and of course London derby at Craven Cottage between Fulham and Luton Town. But thank you very much for watching. Please get your predictions down in the comments, and I will see you in the next video, which will be Tuesday evening at 7 o'clock. I will see you in the next video. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you very soon. Cheers. Take care. Bye-bye for now.
Give me all you've got if you're prepared to break the silence. I'll be out in the sunshine, running beside the